You can easily hula hoop as soon as you know which hoop is the best for you. And I know what it's like not to know which one is best because I started hooping as an adult and I was overweight with no background in fitness. So which hula hoop you need, this video is going to help you to get to know all about it. You will learn about Toyshop hula hoops that you can find in your dollar store and what's wrong with them, why they are not staying up. I detail about weighted hula hoops and also dance and fitness hula hoops, which I use. Also materials, you will find out about plastic, wood and even metal. You're going to be an absolute expert in the world of hula hooping. And I'm very passionate about it because I've spent years and years on stage as a professional hula hooper, and I would like to help you because I know it was difficult when I started. It won't be long and you will be hula hooping like a pro. My name is B. Varga, the Hula Hooper, and I'm here to deliver amazing tutorials and fun workout videos to help you get fit at home. If you fancy content like that, please remember to subscribe and tap the bell button. Let me help you fall in love with exercise.
When I decided that I want to do hula hooping, I just went on my phone and I started scrolling, looking around, what is it that I need? And it was very confusing because there's so many kinds of hula hoops. You can buy anything, but what is it that's good for you? It really depends on your goal, first of all, what you want to achieve with hula hooping, and also your size. So I'm going to help and navigate you in this confusing world of hula hooping. First of all, I would like to show you a hoop that is probably familiar. Probably this is the most familiar hula hoop that you ever came across. This is what kids have normally or schools have. This is in the pound shop or dollar store, so the toy shop stuff. And these are tiny. They usually are very hard to keep up, and for them being around everywhere, most people think they cannot hula hoop because these are impossible to keep going. I can't keep them going. The reason for that is they're not only too light, but too tiny, like the diameter is just ridiculously tiny. So it wants to travel around my body too fast, and I'm not able to move this fast. So this is not a great hula hoop for weight loss, for example, but it's fantastic for learning hand moves. So if you have one of these or you can buy one of these, definitely get it or keep it. Never throw a hula hoop away, because with these you can learn lots of fun hand moves, and I think you will really enjoy the learning experience, and it's fantastic for your coordination. So this is a great hula hoop for hand, arm and even foot moves. But then you go on the internet, so if your dollar store hula hoop is not great, then what is it that you get? And normally what you find, what I find and most people do, are those weighted hula hoops, which I do not have. I never use those. Those very heavy ones, usually they are like 1 kilo or heavier. You would think, I was thinking as well in the beginning when I couldn't hula hoop yet, and I was looking at hula hoops, that the heavier the better, because it's like probably dumbbells that you get fitter with a heavier hula hoop. But it's exactly the opposite. With hula hoops, the heavier a hula hoop, the easier it is to keep it going. And the lighter the hula hoop, the harder it is to keep going. This is why I cannot keep up the kids' hula hoop. But the big weighted hula hoops are super easy to keep going. So they do not require cardiovascular fitness. They will not really improve fitness that much. What they do is, because they are weighted, very much like a dumbbell, that, for example, if you want big biceps, you will do biceps curls with a heavier dumbbell. And the more repetitions you do with that, the bigger the muscle. And that's the same with these big weighted hula hoops. Any hula hoop that is heavier than 900 grams or a kilo, sometimes there's like even 2.5 kilo hula hoops. So all those hula hoops are brilliant if you want to get bulk. So if you're trying to build muscle mass and you want to get a strong core, and it will look strong. So I'm not sure what your goals are, but I think most ladies want to have like a slimmer looking hourglass shape. Whereas for men, I think it's quite cool to have lots of strong looking muscle. So for them, I definitely recommend those weighted, very heavy hula hoops. And the spongy covering is something I do not understand. Anything that you cover in sponge and lots of layers is going to act as a shock absorber. So with hula hoops, the whole point is that the hula hoop beats you up so that you actually find your muscles contracting wherever that hula hoop travels. If there's going to be a spongy covering, that will absorb the impact of this massage. So you're actually missing out from a toning massage, but you're building bulk. So I don't know who designed them, but definitely not a hula hooper. If you have one of those, what I would do with that, maybe for the first few weeks you can use it, but definitely once you can keep up a hula hoop around your waist, I would give it to my husband or my dad or my big brother to get even bigger, because they're not really great if you're after an hourglass shape. And here's me saying hourglass shape. Obviously, I don't know what your goals are with your hula hooping. So goals are going to be important for the next kind of hula hoops. In the world of hula hoops, we have such words floating by like HDPE and polypro. And the difference between them is polypro is lighter, HDPE usually is heavier. I do not use polypro. I have them. I have used them in the past for teaching, but I don't really enjoy using them because I hula hoop to be in shape. So I'm an HDPE hula hoop girl. But for example, if you're interested in doing hand moves and arm tricks and shoulders maybe, so not necessarily around your core, your trunk, but mostly around your limbs, arms and legs or feet, this is a brilliant hula hoop. And I know a lot of hula hoopers who love their tricks, and that is their way of meditation. They enjoy and they have pride in practicing hand tricks, but I'm not that kind of a person. So it depends on what kind of person you are and what your goals are. Yeah, if you're a polypro girl, then you're a trick girl, you love tricks. So if that's what you're after and you want to do different kinds of hand stuff, I would definitely go for one of these. And as I said, I've used them teaching because I can do all of the moves and all of the tricks I performed in the circus, but I don't do this kind of hula hooping for myself to keep in shape, because that doesn't really help with an hourglass physique. This is why I use HDPE. So what I mean by HDPE is these hula hoops that are usually either 25 or 20 millimeter tubing, so that's the kind of material they're made of. I use 25 millimeter for my training and workouts and conditioning. For stage, I use 20 millimeters, but they are all HDPE hoops that I use. So if your goal is to hula hoop to get fit and to change your physique, I would definitely go for a 25 millimeter HDPE hula hoop. If you're ready to perform, maybe look into 20 millimeters as well, because well, you wouldn't be watching this video, would you, if you're ready to perform? Anyway, the size really matters. So this hula hoop that I'm holding at the moment is actually a quite small hula hoop, but what happens with hula hoopers is they usually start off with a bigger hula hoop, 25 millimeter HDPE, but larger. And then as they get better and better over the years, they will be able to use a smaller hula hoop. What I have heard and seen mentioned in the past, and this is very popular in the hula hoop community, is that you put down a hula hoop on the floor and the right size is the one that reaches your belly button, which I'm not sure like how my height has anything to do with my shape, because it doesn't. Some of us are very narrow here and we will be fine with a smaller hula hoop. Some of us are wider. When I started hula hooping, I was a lot bigger. As an adult, when I first started, I was overweight. So when I started hooping, my hoop was a 40-inch hula hoop. 40 inches, that's a massive hoop. It was big. When I lost so much weight, it felt like that hula hoop was too slow for me and I wasn't getting that much of a workout. So after a couple of years practicing and training, I got so good that I went down to a 32-inch hula hoop, and I still to this day use 32 inches. But this, I think, is a fast hula hoop for a beginner. So if you're a beginner, what I recommend you to do is to determine the size of hoop that you need or benefit from the most, depending on your dress size. If you're a dress size extra large or large, you will need a bigger hula hoop. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend a 40 or 42-inch hula hoop like what I started with. And then if you're like a regular, more like medium-sized hula hooper and beginner, I would recommend something like a 38-inch hula hoop. And if you're very tiny already and you still want to do hula hooping, maybe look for something like a 36-inch hula hoop, because when you're a beginner in hula hooping and you want to do on-body kind of hula hoop moves, when you're learning hula hooping and you're learning the first basic moves around your hips, around your waist, your chest and even shoulders, you will find that a bigger hula hoop will make this experience a bit better, and a smaller hula hoop like 32 inches would be very frustrating. So it may stay up around your waist, but for being able to learn and to progress and do the workouts like what you can see in my videos, I would recommend a little bit bigger. So I put all my size recommendations here. If you want, you can now take a screenshot of this so that you have a good reference. You can choose the best hula hoop for you. Now that we have clarified the issue of size, hopefully it made sense. Now we can go for material, because it's not just polypro and HDPE that exists, but others. This is not to confuse you. This is to help you, hopefully. So I'm holding, these are all the same sizes because these are my performing sizes, but they're different materials. So I would like to explain how I feel about these. Everyone probably will have their own opinion. I have so many years of experience using these that I think I could share, maybe it helps. I am a zero waster, so I like to cut down on waste and I want to save the planet, and I don't like plastic much. So wherever I can, I avoid plastic. But with hula hoops, unfortunately, I still say that it has to be plastic because that's the best. Maybe there will be others who say that a metal or a wooden hula hoop is just as good, and I would like to say that, because in my dreams a wooden hula hoop would be the best for me, because I love the touch. But when the hula hoop travels on you, the metal or the wooden hula hoop, they are so firm, they're so hard, they really beat you up. So I do use these, but if you're a beginner, this will not be pretty. You will be covered in extremely bad looking bruises because they are so firm, they are so hard. These hula hoops, the HDPE, may still bruise you a little bit initially, but that's nothing compared to what these hula hoops can do. So although my zero waster hula hoop hippie side would say get metal and wood, but unfortunately they are not a nice experience for beginners because they definitely beat you up very firm and hard. The HDPE is a nicer experience, and it's not just that I don't like to suffer, because a bit of pain I can tolerate, but these are also harder to manipulate, so they are harder to learn with. And for that reason, they wouldn't make your hula hoop learning experience very pleasant.
I hope I helped you, and you can help me. I have a gorgeous little girl whose dream is to be able to play the piano and to be able to pay the lessons. I work very hard here on YouTube. You can help me grow my channel and get her the lessons if you click like, or even to share. That helps me even more so. Also, remember to check the links in the description below. Those are hoops that I recommend for you to try. If there's anything that I missed out on and not answered yet and you still have questions, please do not hesitate to leave a comment. If you already have your hula hoop, I can show you how to keep it up. See you in the next video.